Okay, so I remember when I lived at 41 Fremont and I got off the medication, the injections and all the medication for a month. I remember after that month, they had me go to the hospital in Bronson or whatever. And I remember talking to this nurse. I was like, damn, with that whole situation, whatever, of, people threatening me and shit. And I was like, damn, I'm like, what, but like, things I know is different. I told the nurse, I was like, I'm starting to feel the truth. Like, I would always speak the truth, but I was like, damn, I'm starting to actually feel more energy for the truth. And it's a crime to them for to have feelings. That's why they block dopamine, because they don't want you to have feelings. That's what the medication does. It destroys your feelings. And also it gives you sexual dysfunction too. But I'm like, it's bigger than just that. I don't care about that. Like, well, I do, but then it's like, but bigger things like feeling the truth. I'm like, dude, I'm a human being. I'm supposed to have feelings and emotions. I wasn't going crazy just because I'm feeling the truth and being energetic and having energy. I'm human. I'm supposed to have energy. And, it's crazy, but like, a lot in that situation, like that's just like, come on, man, come on. And they say you have too much dopamine and that's a mental illness, but yet they don't have no proof of that. It's made up shit. They make up the chemical imbalance shit. They make that up. Y'all do your research on that. They make all that shit up, and they have nothing that can show that shit. They don't. And it's all a bunch of manipulation that they do in mental health and behavioral health and all that shit. It's pseudoscience. It's not real. Well, yeah, but that's what these Satanists want. They don't want me to have feelings. They don't want me to have emotions for the truth, for God and the real Jesus and the truth. They don't want me to enjoy myself. Ain't that crazy? The thing is, I ain't enjoying myself on no satanic ass shit. No, I'm enjoying myself with the truth of God, with music, whatever I have, whatever it is. That actually sounds better when you're off the medication and injections, which stay in the system for probably like half a year, probably, about the injections, or even more, can actually do that, All that feeling is supposed to be for human connection, human cognitivity, human connection. And what that medication does, it stops those feelings of cognitivity, of, but yeah, and it blunts your art, and it doesn't really, you need feelings too, like to be, art, like different, or like into art, into craft and stuff, like into like basically like music, for example, like that kind of art or whatever it is. You need feelings for that shit. Or let's say you're trying to be an actor, you need all those feelings for it, or whatever it is, feeling, ain't nothing wrong with feelings. What that tells me, especially with sexual dysfunction, I've never had too much dopamine because I have sexual dysfunction. It should just be at the balanced sexual ability. If it was the balanced dopamine or whatever, then it would be at the regular, like, I would not have sexual dysfunction. But see how crazy these motherfuckers be, this whole satanic business and mental and behavioral health. So that being said, satanic witchcraft cult. That being said, much love, peace.